In the last video, we discussed about dimensional analysis. In this video, we are going to discuss about error analysis. Error analysis is so important. If they want to ask any question from units and measurement, there will be a 60% chance that the question can be from this topic. So this is a very important topic. Please pay attention. Let's start. In error analysis, we are going to have two topics, two major topics. One is types of errors. Second one is combination of errors. Let's see what are the types of errors. First one is absolute errors. Absolute error. Second one, mean absolute error. Third one, fractional error. Fractional error or relative error. Both are same. Fourth one, percentage error. If you can understand these two are easy. Okay. In this video, we are only going to discuss about types of errors. This video is only about types of errors. In the next video, we'll discuss about combination of errors. Okay. Let us start with absolute error first. Before going to discuss about absolute error, let's define error first. What is error? What is error? Error means deviation from the original value or true value. If you measure something, if it's deviate from the original value, deviation from the original value or true value, that is known as error. For example, if I have a line like this, the length of the line is x is 2 centimeters. The length of the line is 2 centimeters, that is original value. Original value is x, that is 2 centimeters. If I measure the length of this line using a scale, if I get the measured value is 2.2 centimeters, then there is an error, right? Because the original value is 2 centimeters only, but I got 2.2 centimeters. So the error is 0.2 centimeters. Original value is x, that is 2 centimeters, error is 0.2 centimeters. Remember, error always represented with delta symbol, delta x. Delta x means error in x. Okay, original value is x, error is delta x. Delta x is 0.2 centimeters. Error represents with delta x. Now let's discuss about absolute error. We know what is an error. Now what is absolute error? What is absolute error? Original value is 2 centimeters, right? X means original value. If I measure the same line second time, if I get the measured value is 1.9 centimeters for the second time. If I measure for the first time, I get 2.2 centimeters. For the second time, I got 1.9 centimeters. Now the error is delta x means error in x is negative 0.1 centimeters. Absolute error means irrespective of the negative or positive, if I only take the number, that is known as absolute error. Absolute error represents with mod delta x is equals to, remove this negative symbol and write only the number, that is 0.1 centimeter. Now we understand the difference between error and absolute error. Error can be either positive or negative value, but absolute error means only the value irrespective of the sign, whether it's a positive or negative. Now the second one, mean absolute error. We know error, absolute error. What is this mean absolute error? Mean means average, right? Average of absolute errors. For suppose if I have multiple absolute errors, then their average is known as mean absolute error. For example, x is the original value, that is 2 centimeters. X1 means the first measurement. If the first measurement is 2.2 centimeters, then the absolute error is delta x is 0.2 centimeters, and the absolute error also 0.2 delta x1 for the first measurement. The second measurement x2 is 1.7 centimeters, then the error in x2 delta x2 is negative 0.3 centimeters. But the absolute error means take out the negative symbol, that is 0.3 centimeters. Third measurement, x3 means third measurement. If third measurement is 1.9 centimeters, then the absolute error, then the error in x3 is negative 0.1 centimeters. Absolute error is 0.1 centimeters. Mean absolute error means average of these three absolute errors. Average of delta x1 plus delta x2 plus delta x3 by 3. That is delta x mean is delta x1 plus delta x2 plus delta x3. Average of these three values divided by 3. That is 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.1 divided by 3. That is 0.6 by 3. 0.1 delta x mean is 0.1. Now what is the difference between absolute error and mean absolute error? We use absolute error for only one measurement. If I don't have these x2 and x3, if I don't have this x2 and x3, if I only have x1, then the absolute error is 0.2. If I have multiple values, then their average is known as mean absolute error. So this mean absolute error we use when we have multiple values. Then their average is mean absolute value. If I have only one value, if we have only one value, then we only use absolute error. Okay. Till now we discussed about absolute error, that is delta x modulus. Mean absolute error, that is delta x mean equals to delta x1 plus delta x2, all these are absolute values, mod plus delta x3 up to so on delta xn. That means I have n values divided by n. That is mean absolute error. Now the third error is fractional or relative error. This fractional error can be represented as delta x by x or delta x mean by x. If I have mean value, that mean value by x, known as fractional value. We know why we call it as fractional value, because we know why we call this as a fractional value, because it's a fraction. But what is this relative error means? The word relative means you are comparing the error delta x with some value, that is x. Understand why they use the word relative? Relative means you are comparing the error with original value. That's why they use the word relative. Remember, fractional error and relative error are same. When can you find a fractional error? When you know either absolute error or mean absolute error. When you know absolute error or mean absolute error, then only we can find fractional or relative error. That is delta x by x. Fourth error, percentage error. How can you convert a fraction into percentage? For suppose if I have a fraction 1 by 2, how can I convert this fraction into percentage? Just by multiplying with 100. If I multiply this fraction with 100, I'll get 50%. That means 1 by 2 is 50%. So if you want to convert a fraction into percentage, you must multiply with 100. That's what percentage error means. Percentage error means multiply this fractional error, delta x by x, with 100. You'll get percentage error. Understand? Next video, we are going to discuss about combination of errors.